Thanks. For more on Mark Short, the federal grand jury, and what it could all mean, we're joined by CNN chief legal analyst and former federal prosecutor Jeffrey Toobin. So you have Greg Jacob, Mark Short testifying in front of a federal grand jury. How significant is it?
It's a big deal, especially in the big picture. I mean, remember, the main criticism of the Justice Department so far has been that they are unduly focused or even exclusively focused on the small fish, the people who were inside the Capitol, who trespassed, who committed acts of violence, and not focused at all on the people who may have committed the larger offenses, the people closest to Trump. This shows that they are looking at what was going on at the White House. Plus, the Pence officials are part of or witnesses to at least three of the most important areas of inquiry. One is the pressure on Mike Pence to violate his oath and stop the certification of the election, the fake elector scheme, and the effort to corrupt the Justice Department. They know about all of that. So the fact that the Justice Department has those people in the grand jury suggests that's what they're investigating.
This is a dumb question, but the Justice Department, do they need to re-interview and before a grand jury everybody who testified before the January 6th committee or the main players?
Well,
I mean, they won't just take the testimony that was given under oath by Mark Short, obviously, to the January 6th committee.
They could, and they could just use that testimony in the grand jury. The issue with the grand jury is, at some point, presumably, they're going to be asked to issue indictments of someone. They have to have evidence on which to base those indictments. Hearsay evidence is admissible in a grand jury, so they could go play the videos of the depositions of from the January 6th committee, but prosecutors usually want to see witnesses for themselves. They may not ask exactly the same questions as those.
Would they have had to subpoena Mark Short?
He said
that they did
earlier today that they did.
What does it say that they were willing to subpoena someone as formerly high level as Mark Short?
It shows they're serious. I mean, that's why today is so important. I mean, this grand jury testimony is so important because it shows the Justice Department is not just focusing on the small fish. Now, whether there will be indictments of people up to and including President Trump, I certainly don't know that. But there certainly wouldn't be indictments of the people like Trump if these people were not in the grand jury.
Because you did have, Merrick Garland saying, no person is above the law. I mean, I guess you could look at this and say that puts this into kind of sharper focus.
Well, and grand juries' investigations are by definition secret. The only reason this came out is that reporters happened to just see the Short coming out of the courthouse. We don't know who exactly have testified in the grand jury, but the fact that they are there is a big deal.
So we don't know and won't know until either someone breaks it or charges are filed how far advanced they are in their investigation.
No, I mean, there are several ways you can find out. I mean, you can see people, physically see them going in and out. All the reporters know which are the grand jury rooms. Individuals can say that they testified, but whether the grand jury issues an indictment or not, that is almost never known until the indictment
if there
happens.
is this investigation continues and there's a new president and that president appoints a new head of the Department of Justice, does the investigation automatically continue?
It certainly does not automatically continue. It can continue. I mean, the custom in the Justice Department, especially with career people, is that investigations continue from one administration to the next. But certainly the senior leadership will change. And I think, if Donald Trump is elected president in 2024, the odds of this investigation continuing in any form like that, I would say, is remote at best.
Jeff Toobin, appreciate it. Thanks.